probably the biggest challenge initially moving from volume to value is I like to think about it as you're standing on a dock, 1 foot on the dock and 1 foot in a rowboat, and that rowboat's slowly starting to drift away from the dock. When do you take your foot off the dock and jump in the rowboat? And that's a real concern for people because they say, gosh, I make my living on fee-for-service. When do I make that change? And I'm telling people that we're already in population health now. We're already being measured, as I mentioned, the quality and resource use reports, the QRUR reports. They're looking at quality and cost per capita already. So we're already being measured. Some of the private insurance companies are measuring the same way. So we have to make that transition. We've got to step into that boat and do the right thing overall. But that's probably the largest challenge. The other one is to help convince, I think, our partners in the C-suite at the hospital that physicians need a place at the table. They need to be brought into the management team. They need to be incentivized to have time protected to really drill down to see where those opportunities are to change the way that we deliver health care. That's going to be very, very important. If we don't change the way, we can do what we do more efficiently currently, but that's not enough. We've got to learn how to do things differently. So with the advent of having physicians be part of the leadership team, some groups are way ahead of other groups. Some groups have already implemented lots of new programs where they've given the reins of the cardiovascular service line to the physician leader and administrative leader. It's a dyad relationship. There's a physician leader and an administrative leader that work together to make those changes. But I think the C-suite has to open their arms and allow those physicians to come in and be part of that. Now, obviously, there are limitations, budget limitations, et cetera. So it's not, you can't be freewheeling and make every change in the world, but we know that we've got to change the way we deliver health care. And physicians control, I think I heard once, 92% of the cost when you consider what all of the decisions that they make and the influence they have. That's why we need them at the table. And if they're incentivized, and given the responsibility and authority to make those changes, I think it's going to be a healthier environment. Some of our members that own their own heart hospitals, for instance, told me that that was the best environment because they had some control over how healthcare was delivered. So now it's almost like having a heart hospital. You don't own it, but if you're put in a position of having the ability to make decisions that affect the way patients are cared for, I think that's very important. That's what's going to equal success in the long run. For physicians as leaders, they have to have protected time. They have to be able to take the time. And of course, we spend a lot of time at our meetings with physician leadership programs. Physicians are very intelligent. They don't always have a lot of leadership training. So many physicians are getting additional leadership training and falling right into the management mode and doing a great job. Not every group is ready to do that. Some groups actually integrated and said, wow, this is a great opportunity. I don't have to manage the practice anymore. We don't think that's the right way to look at it. You still have to manage your practice. You still have to make that an acceptable organization, but you also have to have an impact on the facility side, on the hospital side, on the service line side.